The cranes in Dubai haven't stopped moving, but for the first time in 20 years, they are pointing in the wrong direction. While the world was busy looking at the Burj Khalifa, a new shadow began to stretch across the desert. A shadow $500 billion long. It's called Neom, and it isn't just a city. It's a death sentence for the Dubai model. Millionaires who once called the Palm Jumeirah their permanent home are quietly offloading their penthouses at record speeds, moving their capital, their companies, and their families across the border to Saudi Arabia. The island of stability is suddenly looking like a relic of the past, an outdated version of a future that has already been surpassed. We are witnessing the most aggressive wealth migration in modern history, a farce on a silent war of billions where only one desert king can survive. In this video, we will expose the classified incentives Saudi Arabia is using to steal Dubai's elite, the secret infrastructure flaws making Dubai obsolete, and the moment the crown officially slipped. The desert is being redrawn, and Dubai might just be the first casualty of the New World Order. Before we go any further into this high-stakes economic war, I have a very important request. It takes exactly 2 seconds of your time and costs you absolutely nothing to hit that subscribe button. But for this channel, it is the difference between life and death. By subscribing, you help the algorithm push these investigations to people who need to know the truth, bypassing the filters that try to keep the Gulf's dark side hidden. It helps us stay independent, reach our monetization goals, and continue bringing you the data no one else dares to touch. Thank you for your support. To understand why Dubai is finished, you have to understand the prestige vacuum. For 2 decades, Dubai had no competition. If you wanted luxury, zero tax, and safety in the Middle East, there was only one choice. But that monopoly has been shattered. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 isn't just a development plan. It is a direct, calculated attack on Dubai's core revenue streams. The crown jewel of this attack is Neom, specifically the line. While Dubai offers skyscrapers that look like they belong in the 1990s, Saudi Arabia is offering a literal sci-fi civilization. To a billionaire, luxury is no longer enough. They want the next thing, and Dubai has become the old thing. Internal documents from top-tier wealth management firms in the DIFC suggest that nearly 15% of high-net-worth individuals have already shifted their primary residence status to Saudi Arabia in the last 12 months. This isn't just a trend, it's a hemorrhage. These millionaires aren't just moving for the shiny new buildings. They are moving because Saudi Arabia is offering something Dubai can no longer guarantee: massive, untapped government contracts and a seat at the table of the largest economic transformation in human history. In Dubai, you are just another expat with a nice car. In Saudi Arabia, you are a pioneer building a new empire. The corporate landscape tells an even more brutal story. The Saudi government issued a regional headquarters mandate, so effectively telling multinational companies, if you want to do business with the world's largest oil exporter, your main office cannot be in Dubai. This was a surgical strike. We are seeing a mass exodus of C-suite executives from the office towers of Sheikh Zayed Road. When the decision-makers leave, the money follows. The restaurants, the schools, the luxury car dealerships, they all rely on this elite layer of society. As that layer peels off and moves to Riyadh and Neom, the foundation of Dubai's economy begins to crack. But the competition isn't just about business. It's about the fundamental failure of Dubai's aging infrastructure. If you look at the drainage systems, the energy grid, and the urban planning of Dubai, it was built for a smaller era. The recent floods and power outages were a wake-up call for the elite. Why stay in a city that floods every time it rains when you can move to a city like Neom, designed from the ground up with 22nd century technology? Saudi Arabia is building a zero-gravity urbanism model that makes the Palm Jumeirah look like a sinking sand castle. Furthermore, the tax-free promise of Dubai is no longer unique. Saudi Arabia is creating special economic zones with 0% corporate tax for 50 years, customs duty exemptions, and 100% foreign ownership. They are taking Dubai's playbook, adding $1 trillion of oil wealth to it, and making it better. Millionaires are realizing that the tax-free life in Dubai now comes with hidden fees for everything, from knowledge fees to housing fees, while Saudi Arabia is rolling out the red carpet with actual transparent incentives. Spurcape. The psychological shift is perhaps the most damaging. Dubai has always thrived on being the tallest, the biggest, and the first. But when you are no longer any of those things, what are you? As the Burj Azizi and other projects struggle to compete with the sheer scale of the Jeddah Tower and the Neom skyscrapers, the aura of invincibilidad around Dubai has vanished. Investors sense blood in the water. The real estate market in Dubai is currently being propped up by short-term speculators, while the old money and the smart money are diversifying into Saudi land. Even the geographic advantage is being challenged. Neom's location on the Red Sea is strategically superior for trade with Europe and Africa, bypassing the increasingly tense Strait of Hormuz. For a global investor, the security of their supply chain is paramount. And Saudi Arabia is positioning itself as the new logistics hub of the world, leaving Dubai's DP World to fight for leftovers. We are seeing a redirection of shipping routes that have favored Dubai for 50 years. The social contract is also evolving. While Dubai has struggled with the temporary nature of its residents, Saudi Arabia is moving toward offering more permanent stakes in the country for high-level investors. They are creating a sense of belonging that Dubai's rent-seeking model never achieved. Millionaires don't want to be guests forever. They want to be stakeholders. Saudi Arabia is giving them that chance, and Dubai is watching its best and brightest walk out the door. The human cost of this competition is seen in the professional service sectors. Top-tier surgeons, lawyers, cloud and tech developers are being headhunted from Dubai with salary packages that are 50 to 70% higher in Saudi Arabia. This is creating a service vacuum in Dubai. The quality of life that expats move to Dubai for is declining because the people who provided those high-end services are now living in Riyadh. It's a domino effect that is difficult to stop once it begins. As we look at the skyline of Dubai tonight, we see a city that is over-leveraged and underprotected against this new rival. The debt levels required to maintain Dubai's spectacle are becoming unsustainable as the revenue moves across the border. We are entering the era of the second desert miracle. But this time, the miracle isn't happening in Dubai. The other destination has become the only destination. The shift in the global hierarchy of wealth isn't just a theory, it's being documented in the flight manifests of private aviation hubs. Data from Al Maktoum International and Dubai International shows a 22% increase in one-way private jet departures to Riyadh and Neom's dedicated airport in just the last quarter. These aren't tourists. These are the architects of the global economy moving their bases of operation. When a billionaire moves, they don't just take a suitcase. They take an entire ecosystem of capital, influence, and job creation. Dubai, once the undisputed king of the desert, is now facing a terrifying reality. It is becoming a transition point rather than a destination. One of the most devastating blows to Dubai's crown is the talent war. Saudi Arabia's Neom project is currently offering pioneer packages to the world's top AI researchers, renewable energy engineers, and biotech specialists that Dubai simply cannot match. We're talking about tax-free salaries that are 40% higher than the UAE average, combined with equity stakes in the very projects they are building. In Dubai, an expat is a temporary resident. In Neom, they are being marketed as the founding fathers of a new civilization. This psychological branding is draining Dubai of the intellectual capital it needs to survive the post-oil transition. Furthermore, let's talk about the spectacle fatigue. Dubai has spent billions on being the most of everything: the tallest building, the largest mall, the deepest pool. But Saudi Arabia is moving beyond simple architecture. They are investing in the experience economy on a scale that makes Dubai look like a 20th century theme park. The Qiddiya project, the Red Sea project, and the Trajena ski resort in Neom are designed to capture the global tourism market that Dubai currently relies on. Industry insiders suggest that within 5 years, the family luxury segment, Dubai's bread and butter, will have shifted its primary preference to the Saudi coast. The financial infrastructure is also tilting. The Saudi Public Investment Fund, PIF, with its nearly $1 trillion in assets, is being used as a gravitational force. By requiring international banks and investment firms to have a physical, high-level presence in the kingdom to manage these assets. Saudi Arabia has effectively forced the hand of the global financial elite. The office towers in the Dubai International Financial Center, DIFC, are seeing a skeleton crew phenomenon where companies keep a small office for appearances but move their heavy hitters to the Saudi capital. But perhaps the most visible sign of Dubai's decline is the secondary market stagnation. While the headlines scream about record-breaking sales of $100 million villas, the reality for the upper middle class, the millionaires, not the billionaires, is much grimmer. In areas like Dubai Marina and Business Bay, the number of for-sale signs has doubled. These owners are trying to get out before the Saudi projects reach full completion. They know that once the first residents move into Neom's The Line, the novelty of a Dubai apartment will vanish. The scarcity value that propped up Dubai's prices for years has been destroyed by the sheer scale of Saudi Arabia's land and ambition. Even the maritime sector, long the backbone of Dubai's history, is being disrupted. The King Abdullah Port and the new Oxagon Port in Neom are positioned to become the primary gateways for the Suez Canal trade. By integrating these ports with high-speed rail and advanced logistics AI, Saudi Arabia is cutting hours and millions of dollars off the global supply chain. For the shipping giants that once made Dubai's Jebel Ali the center of their world, the choice is becoming purely mathematical. Saudi Arabia is faster, newer, and more strategically located for the future of trade. Then there is the issue of resource sustainability. Dubai has reached its natural limit for expansion in many ways. The cost of maintaining a city of glass in a 50-degree climate is rising exponentially. Saudi Arabia, however, is building Neom with a circular economy and 100% renewable energy integrated into the very foundation of the city. For the green millionaires, the new generation of wealth that values sustainability as much as luxury, Dubai's energy-intensive model feels like a relic of the carbon age. They are choosing the future over the fossil. The Dubai is finished narrative isn't just coming from rivals. It's coming from the disillusioned residents who feel the city has become a vending machine. The social fabric of Dubai has always been thin, but the aggressive competition from Saudi Arabia has exposed just how transactional the relationship is. When a better offer comes along, there is no loyalty to the sand. Saudi Arabia is learning from this mistake, attempting to build a more integrated, long-term society that offers more than just a paycheck. As we analyze the new king of the desert, we have to look at the endgame. Dubai is currently in a defensive posture, trying to lower fees and introduce new visa categories to stop the bleeding. But you cannot win a war of attrition against a neighbor with an infinite bank account and a fresh vision. The Gilded Age of Dubai is closing, and the trillion-dollar era of Saudi Arabia has begun. The millionaires aren't just flocking, they are fleeing the old for the new. If you've made it this far, you're seeing the map of the world change in real time. This isn't just about two cities, it's about the shift of global power and the death of the spectacle model of development. If you found this investigation insightful, make sure to hit that like button. It helps us keep these deep dives going against the grain of the mainstream narrative. What do you think? Is Dubai's reign truly over, or does the city have one last miracle left in the sand? Have you seen the shift towards Saudi Arabia yourself? Your stories in the comments are what make this community the most informed on the web. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next report on the crumbling pillars of the global elite. We'll see you in the next one. Stay ahead of the curve.